All right, welcome back. We just got done with Slide in the Woods. Now we have Kefka here. He was just recently on GDQ Hotfix, showcasing this game, and now we're gonna get a beautiful speed run of it. Kefka, show him how it's done.
All right. First of all, thanks for having me, and thanks for inviting me to do that hotfix event. All that was super fun. But we're gonna be doing Nightmare Creatures, any percent Ignatius. One thing I want to mention, just tiny housekeeping thing before we get started. I do have level select unlocked, just in case something goes catastrophically wrong and we need to restart a level. Shouldn't, but just in case, just for the disclosure. But we're gonna go ahead and select Ignatius. There is a secondary character, Nadia. We're not gonna be playing as her. We're gonna be playing as Preacher Man. So let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, go. So coming right into the run here, first level here is Chelsea, and you'll notice immediately there are no walls in this game. There are walls, but
Walls just don't exist.
oh yeah, we're gonna ignore them. Also, say hello to Miles Got Daddy on commentary. Go ahead and say hello there, man.
Hey everybody, you heard me earlier, but
So yeah,
I put some time into this game.
we're just hopping along out of bounds here, and you'll notice there's kind of some like water next to me. If we go over top of that water, we'll die. So got to run around it, but we just run straight to the end of the level. I am running on the 64 version. The game was also released on PlayStation and PC, and there are some differences for sure. I personally run on the 64 version just because it's what I have, and it's what I prefer. That being said, one of the biggest differences is there's normally like a cutscene at the end of each level on the PlayStation and PC versions, but the 64 version skips those, which saves a little bit of time. We're already on the third level here, Tim's Tunnel. It's one of the longer levels. It can get a little bit scary, especially in a marathon. Record attempts or something. But quiet for a second, please. Okay, so that's Sewer Snake, and there's a very good normalized sort of setup you can do to kill it very quickly that requires counting. So I usually like to be kind of quiet and count in my head for that. That boss is extremely difficult casually. A lot of people have tons of issues with it, but yeah, with being a speedrunner, we've sort of trivialized it. Here we are in India Docks. This is probably one of, if not the shortest level in the game. You just clip out of bounds and run straight to the end. Lovely. It's funny, the 64 version's version of cutscenes is the little text crawl at the end of each stage. Now we're coming into Highgate Cemetery. Now this level's had a couple of changes in recent days. My Daddy here actually found the route that I'm using now. It's the route that's used in the current world record as well, so see on that, dude.
Yeah, used to go a long way around, and there was a pretty annoying like bridge that you had to go over, So I did everything I could to try to find a way around that little section.
You did a really good job with it too, because it did have like 4 out of bounds clips instead of just what does this one have, 2? So very good job on
Yeah,
that.
that's the main thing in this game that saves a lot of time is just reducing the number of out of bounds clips you have to do, because you have to save and pause each time. So
The thing about the out of bounds clips, the way they work is I'm lining up against the wall, and then I'm pressing up for a frame, and then I'm pressing start. And basically what happens is Ignatius takes an extra step forward right as the game pauses, which causes all the collision to unrender. And in most cases, that allows you to just go straight through the wall. It can be a little bit finicky. And another thing that you saw a little bit earlier, and you'll see it really well right here, is notice how we clipped through there, but it upworked us. We'll be taking advantage of that in a couple places. It also works if there's geometry below you. The game will downwarp you. But yeah, that's actually one of the hardest levels in the game right there that I just did as well. That was pretty good. So here's Queen Height Docks. We're going to use another out of bounds upwork here, see if we can get through quickly. Sometimes these clips can get a little bit weird. Looks like this one's going to give me a little bit of trouble. There's always one. You never have a run where every clip just goes perfectly. There we go. There's always one that just randomly decides to just be irritating. That's just about every attempt. Another thing worth pointing out is that blue bar on the side of the screen. I'm sure y'all can see that it is ticking down. That is what's called the adrenaline bar, and once it runs all the way out, our health is just going to start draining. And the way you fill it back up is, oh no, we got hit by the blue guy. Let's see if we can get out of this. Okay, cool. Whew. Anyway, once it gets to the bottom, our health starts draining, and the way you fill it back up is you fight things. Now, luckily for us, it's turned off on boss fights, but we're just going to pretty much avoid having to deal with that at all. Here's another level that Mild Goth Daddy optimized quite a bit. This is City. City's pretty... Uh-oh. Oh, no. This could get strange. Nice! I made it through anyway. Okay. So, the way the monsters work in this game is, if they're not on screen, the game essentially doesn't think they exist. And that zombie there, in particular, can get a little bit weird at times if you don't aggro him just the right way. But yeah, this route as well was found by Mild God Daddy. Before that, we did a... It wasn't that much longer of a route, but it was way less consistent and a little bit longer. Here's Smith.
More enemies, you had to walk all the way around the map, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. And the clip was awful too. There's Smithfield, very short level, the one snow level in the game. And it's already over. That was actually a really good Smithfield. But then we're coming to the second boss, which is Snowman. Snowman is, I wouldn't say the hardest boss in the game, but you can definitely lose a lot of time here. The object of Snowman...
Definitely the most annoying.
Definitely the most annoying boss as a whole. The object of Snowman is to go around and collect dynamite, and you have to throw 6 dynamites onto the ground. You don't even actually have to hit Snowman with the dynamite. It sort of just makes the cathedral we're in collapse around him. And the big goal here at this point is to just spam this dynamite and get it all onto the ground as quick as we can. So we can pick up 2 more, because we need to do 6. Unfortunately, you can't grab all 6 right out of the gate. They despawn. You kind of got to do it in 2 rounds. There we go. Not the best Snowman. It got a little bit weird. I accidentally picked up the health over here before I got the dynamite, but that's not the worst thing in the world. Have a little bit of safety health for a marathon run, you know? We have chipped down our health a little more than I would prefer, but not the biggest deal. Then we're officially going into the back half of the run. Things get a little bit more complex level-wise here as a whole, but it isn't too bad. Come on. Nacious. What is happening right now? There we go. There we go. Yeah, sometimes the clips can get a little weird. What happened there is we were partially clipped out of bounds, and we were just kind of stuck inside of a wall. I don't really know why it happens, just sometimes it does. Maybe you unpaused too quickly or something. Who knows? We made it through, though. Come on over here, we're just going to go whoop and jump back into bounds and finish the level. There are only 2 bosses left in the run as well. Both of them kind of cool, actually. One of them's a bit of a pain, the final boss. Ugh, it's awful, honestly. But the next boss, the third boss in the game, is really, really cool. Has a really interesting quick build, which I am going to attempt to show off. It's not marathon safe at all, but I've elected to try to show it off because it's really cool.
Yeah, there is actually a quick kill. See, one of the differences between the PlayStation and N64, there is a quick kill for Snowman as well, but for some reason it just refuses to work on the N64 version. So
yeah, it's really weird. You can kill the boss, but then just like this invisible timer just keeps on chugging, and you just wait, and just nothing happens. It's really strange. So we're coming into Marylebone here, and we finished that out, one of the other shorter levels. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game at this point. There's only, I think, 3 or 4 regular levels left. Here's Bloomsbury, one of the other very, very short levels in the game. And I'm going to do something kind of interesting here where I side hop into the end. And the reason for that is if I did a full turn into it, there's a lot of fire in that room that's past that little gate there. And the particle effects makes the text crawl go extremely slow for whatever reason. So I intentionally,
Some lag reduction.
yeah, I basically I just intentionally sacked a little bit of time to get the lag reduction strats in.
Well, there is some lag reduction with the boss that's coming up too, right?
Kind
That
of,
you were messing with a
kind
little
of.
bit. Yeah.
It's we've done a little more research on it in recent days and discovered a few weird quirks about it. But yeah, coming up though is probably the coolest boss in the run. This is Jose. Everybody say hello to their homie. He's pretty interesting. I think he's meant to be like a sort of Jack the Ripper kind of character. Of course, Jose slammed me right in the face. You would do that in a marathon, wouldn't you, buddy? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the saw blade that I have there, and bam, that was beautiful actually. Now notice he's still moving, but we won. We figured out that the trigger that causes him to die is his right arm, specifically the back part of it. So the way you're normally supposed to fight Jose is you hit these switches over and over, and spikes eventually crush him and cause his body to just, get ripped into pieces. But the saw blade item I used there, that I still have queued up over there, is any enemy in the game that can be cut into pieces is essentially killed in one hit if you use that. And I'm actually gonna grab this little life here as well, just to have an extra life, just to be safe. But yeah, it turns out that if you just hit Jose just right with one of those berserker saws, that you win. It was a fairly recent development as well. I think that was only discovered like 4 or 5 months ago, and it saved like 30 or 40 seconds on the fight. But we're already in the last regular level of the game, and then we're on to the final boss. The last 2 levels, Westminster 1 and 2, are pretty normal. You'll notice though in the previous level that I did pick up a weapon upgrade. It makes me do a lot more damage, and it's very useful for the final boss. Makes the final boss go by much faster.
It also gives you an extra health bar for some reason on the N64 version. You don't get that in the PlayStation version.
No, you don't. I don't know why they did that. I think a lot of people complained about the difficulty of the game. Let's see if I can get this though. Phase 1. Ah, nope. Third bat got away. That's pretty typical. Third bat is often kind of weird. Oh, nice. I got frozen inside of the thing. That's always fun. All right, cool. Decent recovery. So that first phase there, those bats are kind of on a movement cycle, and once you get off cycle, it's pretty hard to keep yourself in check. But here we are in the true final boss, so time's coming up pretty shortly. Depending on what this boss decides to do, he can, sometimes he plays nice, sometimes he doesn't. So far, it's pretty good, but once he gets out of the wall here, he's probably going to start dancing around and, sack a whole minute of my speedrun. That's usually what he does.
You're keeping him in the wall pretty good here. It can get out of hand pretty quickly if he gets out of the wall.
Okay, he did get out of the wall, but he only has 1 hit left, so I don't feel too bad about what's going on here. Now, in a world record pace run, this would be reset. Okay, so time is when I behead Crowley. So ready, here we go, and... Oh goodness. What is going on? That's weird. Time. There we go. Weird. Weird ending, but okay. Yeah, that's Nightmare Creatures. If you like a really glitch-heavy speedrun and you like, retro horror games, definitely one to check out. There is a glitchless category as well if you don't want to do all the out-of-bounds stuff. I imagine some people probably wouldn't enjoy that as much, which is fair. And yeah, the PS1 version is also a really good version to run. The clips are much easier, the out-of-bounds clips are, than on the N64 version. The PC version's kind of unexplored.
It's a super easy game.
Oh yeah, it's a real breezy game once you get into the flow of things. But yeah, super short, super fun. What was the final time?
Looks like you got 12:42.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's solid enough. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, thanks for having me, guys.
Time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Of course.
That's all I got though. Check out Nightmare Creatures, yo. Fun game, really nice community, and yeah.